Let's see. Hopefully it won't cause any trouble. Let's see. Getters and Co. left the underground area. Shortly after. Left the underground area. Heading to floor 1 of the facility. The ground floor of the place. Their entrance, it was safe at the stairs. It was safe there. Safe there. The vent systems were working hard to keep the poisonous gas down in the lower levels. Several scientists with chemical weapon detectors were situated at the stairs. They're wearing clean suits. Which the others wouldn't have minded a little earlier. And have minded for him and his comrades. Hope you eggheads know what you're doing. Yetters muttered grimly. That gas might take us all out instead of the enemy. It's a possibility. Yetters expected the clean suit scientist to look nervous, but they were poker faced within their suits, acting more like old soldiers and people who spent most of their time in quiet labs and quiet, safe labs. Getters wondered if they actually might be soldiers. Nah, soldiers would have had rifles slung on their backs. Yep, well, people worry about politics. I only worry about entertainment. Let's see. Yetters. The situation is pretty dire. One of the scientists replied. If there was any alternative to releasing the gas, we would have done that. But the gas is our only trump card at the moment. Unfortunate. Really? Yetters asked. What about so we got no super weapons? There are no ancient weapons, drones or robots or laser guns in the ceilings. If we did, I think we would have seen their use by now. The scientist replied. Yetters realized that this fellow was probably as in the dark as he was about the secrets of the facility. Yetters wondered if he was bitter about that too. Here he was risking his life for a place he knew nothing about. If he was going to die defending something, it might be better to die in the house Guy defending. Maybe it would be better. Maybe he'd feel better defending his hometown that he knew the ins and outs of. Like he designed the place himself. Or even just his house. Or the old house. Home. It was a nice little Victorian place, kind of place. Not a mansion, but it was the biggest house on his street, and he had the biggest house, and it was the biggest house on the street, and the biggest house of any kid in town. For rich people who didn't have kids. Rich people didn't have kids at the time. Rich people who owned the mansion. Let's see, it was the biggest house, and the biggest house of any kid in town. Nice white, nice wraparound porch. Kind of pale blue paint job. Faded from a darker shade when the house was first painted. Steeples, unnecessarily curvaceous roof. It almost looked like a range of mountains. Range of mountains, that's the plural of mountains, right? Like a herd of deer or school of fish. I'm not sure who came up with this stuff, but English is so strange. I wonder if that's you can't hear that stuff in other languages. Why would you call a school? Why would you call a bunch of fish a school of fish? Fish are mindless creatures, pretty much. Most of them. They got no personality, they got no memory, they're barely alive. They're like bugs almost, except their bugs are a bit more lively usually. Seems every time I see a bug, he always spazzes out and fluttering around like crazy, like he thinks like he psychically reads that I want to kill him or something, I don't know. Who knows what goes on in the heads of bugs? They certainly don't got very big brains. And it's the same for fish. We kill a snake. Let's see. Kids thought the house was haunted because it looked the type. But it wasn't haunted. There were often unpleasant moans coming through, it's echoing through the halls. Thanks to Yetter's sick sister. Let's see. Yetter's rich, poor. Rich, poor? I don't know. Poor people can live in big houses, can't they? If they inherit them, I guess. It's a common trope in Hyde stories, like a family of financial trouble moves into a haunted house they inherited, or something. Thanks to Yetter's sick sister. Yetter's thought of Dominique again. That's Lady Dominique. What was that? I thought I heard a jingle in the background. Was that an ice cream truck coming? Mr. Softy hasn't been around here lately. I wonder if he might have retired the whole thing. Maybe he didn't sell enough ice cream a few years back. I haven't seen him in 2 years. Usually don't get his ice cream anyway. Yetter's thought of Lady Dominique. Like that. Perhaps his sister's long suffering, days of suffering were soon to end. So this gas, we all got whiff of the gas. Getters said to the scientist. Yeah, I don't have a connectivity issue. Oh, this is being used by another computer. No, it's not. I don't know why I keep getting that message and why this computer is moving slow as molasses right now. It's all because of this damn internet browser. I don't know why it would need a billion ICU or whatever. IPU, CPU, freaking abbreviations. Yetter said to the scientist. Yeah, said the scientist. So what can we expect to experience? Discomfort, sweating, vomiting. The scientist replied quickly. But we only got a brief whiff. Yetters replied. Blair's clarified. The scientist nodded. Okay, then you'll experience discomfort, sweating, and vomiting. The scientist said. Great. Yetters jeered. Pack it up, buddies. We're moving out. Pack up. 15 minutes I was diddling around with this damn... just trying to upload a video to YouTube. It wasn't an internet connection problem. It was just this damn... I don't know, something the computer thought that it needed a million CPU to dedicate to the internet. I don't know why. Great, Years jeered. Maybe you guys should make a light version of this gas. Use it. Crack down on protests and like a baby version. Baby version. That's good. Good idea. The scientist replied. But even a baby version of this would probably be too much for some people. Lucky enough you are over 40. Yeah. Getter's replying. Getter's got on the line and got some new orders, which were to guard the stairs and the scientists there. Scientists took a few of the extra rifles to protect themselves. There's imagine a lot of people in the faculty were arming themselves at the moment. What's the use of the word faculty? I'm not sure. The gas is too concentrated down there for anybody to come up these stairs to reach the stairs. One scientist said, to the others, we won't see anybody. What about a superhuman? Getters asked. The enemy had several of them. Had 3 of them. Even the scientist looked confident in his earlier statement. Even Dominique Richington herself couldn't survive down there. She'd collapse after the scientist said. She collapsed after 2 minutes. Ayers replied. Guess we'll know what to use on Dominique if she ever goes bad. I'm sure there are many protocols in place for that. Scientist replied. I might have even worked on a few of them. Classified stuff, though. Right. Getters agreed. Getters then swore he heard some noise deep down in the underground. Just a second, folks. Sorry, folks. Seeing that stupid error message in the background was just distracting me too much, and when you're a writer, you gotta eliminate distractions, you know? Can't imagine what it's like to write a novel in like a crowded apartment or someplace. Suburbs probably the perfect place. Unless you somehow get off on the thrill of, you know, city living and hearing all the traffic and noise and people swearing at each other, driving each other crazy. I'm sure there are some writers who prefer that to quiet. Harrison swore he heard some noise deep down in the underground, like a body heavily dropping to the floor. There was no scream or anything accompanying it. Like someone just dropped of a stroke or heart attack or got shot through the skull. There's imagined it was one of the armor boys. He feeling very sympathetic for the enemy right now. He didn't wish the guy who fell a bad end. So that's probably what he was going to get. Rest in pieces. Rest in peace. Getters coughed and felt himself throw up a little in his mouth. Getters didn't know it was a sign of poisoning. Gas poisoning. Gas poisoning, that sounds like the name of a fictional disease. Yeah, I saw it. So a person died of something called a fatty embolism. I never heard of anything like that. Is that like something you get from a complication from liposuction or something? I don't know if it was a sign of gas poisoning. Since he always had indigestion problems through his life, he since he always had indigestion problems through his life, he was born with some stomach trouble, intestinal trouble. One had to go undergo surgery the same day he was born. Must have been a great experience for his parents. Is your sister younger or older than you, Mr. Getters? Must have been a great experience for his parents. Yeah, we writers do imagine talking to our characters and so on. That stuff is right when they have it in a TV show. Though we usually don't picture them as like full people standing in front of us like a hallucination or something, you know. Be a little odd. Usually when I picture the characters, it's them in their world and their environment, whatever the setting is at the time. Not my world, because that wouldn't make any sense. They're not part of my world. A great experience for his parents. If I could describe my current physical state in one word, it would be tired. I don't want to go on adventures or anything. I'm a bit like a hobbit, I guess, lately. I don't mind going on adventures in books, I guess. I don't want to experience adventures. Not even video games as of late, you know? And, you know, video games are a great way to have adventure without endangering yourselves. How many people have been killed playing video games? It has happened, though, you know, like somebody sits in a chair for 24 hours, all Red Bull and everything around. Of course, he's gonna die. He ignored his body's functions for a whole day. I did that one time, and boy, I felt sick. You know, my brain was dying. I can imagine what a person feels like after not eating for a few days. It must have been a great experience for his parents. Yet there's still... The doctors apparently corrected the problem, but Yetters still had bits of bouts of stomach trouble, indigestion, and diarrhea. That's one word you should never mention in a story, unless it's set in the Pacific and your soldiers got the runs. And diarrhea. And it's stomach flu like diarrhea. Growing up in his mouth made Yetters think of how birds fed their young. Kept picturing himself feeding baby birds like that in a nest like that, and when he had some backflow in his mouth. Backflow, is that the right word? Which he almost always. Yetters saw the guys with Yetters started getting 5 minutes later, the guys around Yetters started getting sick. Shoot, I might have to go to the store today. Not for food, but for some project. I don't know. I leave the projects to my grandpa. He's the carpenter of the family, you know. We could probably start up a useful business, and I heard that, you know, contractor work is very lucrative these days. I don't know why. Maybe people just decide, yeah, well, let's change up the house a little bit, shall we? Spruce up the old homestead, as Ned Flanders would say. He started getting sick. He felt fine, but wondered if that would pass. Guys were sweating, moaning a little, getting too weak, drowsy to stay on their feet. One guy's legs gave out. A few guys puked off down some adjacent corridor. Another guy begged Yetters to let him go to nearest restroom. Yetters probably could have asked the guy for his immortal soul in reply, and he would have handed it off, signed the contract without question. The guy came back not looking relieved, but still a bit sick and ashamed. What happened? Anders asked. Didn't make it in time. The guy replied, sounding like he had done the most shameful thing in his life. Shameful thing in his life. Sounded like he had done the most shameful thing in his whole life. Never happened to be before. Not even when you were a baby. Gator says. Well, yeah, then. Guy replied. Handle with the others. I gotta go next. If you don't mind. Well said. By all means, go. Yetters requested. And to look to the guy who came back from the restroom. Hopefully it doesn't smell like a stink bomb in there. Handel said. There was no bathroom spray. The man replied. Is bathroom spray anachronistic to 1947? I mean 57. It'd be a shame if it was. You'd think people have always wanted something to spray in the bathroom to get rid of that horrible stench. Yeah. Yeah. Some people have really, really smelly bathroom troubles. Anyway, have a nice day. See you later.